Good morning, students. Today let us continue with our next topic in cloud computing, and it is identity and access management. We'll be studying about definitions and challenges. And this is a part of Unit 3, and it is in continuation with the last topic that was covered. So let us focus on the outline for today's session. As you can see, we'll be discussing about identity and access management, the definitions. We'll be studying about the cloud use cases that require IAM support. We'll be studying about the challenges of IAM, followed by certain assignments which are very important from this, from GTU exam point of view, specifically for this topic. So, what is IAM? Basically, in the last session we studied, IAM is basically a set of tools and certain set of policies that are basically set to see that the accesses are defined properly for the digital resources of the organization. So IAM basically has various features. The one focused here are authentication, authorization and auditing, and they are called as AAA, which is an acronym for this. So let us see what is authentication. It is basically the process of verifying the identity of a user or a system. So once a system is logged in by the specific user, the system will try to identify who this specific user is. For that, an LDAP protocol is used. LDAP basically stands for Lightweight Directory Access Protocol. So this will help in verifying the credentials that is presented by the user. And users are basically different types which belong to the corporate, which are identified by the corporate user ID and which is unique and uniquely assigned to each user. Like you have an employee and a contractor. So there can be various roles in the organization, and every user or a role can be assigned a ID. So authentication usually connotes a more robust form of identification. So this is basically used because it has or represents a very robust form of identification. So in some cases, at times it is basically used to authenticate the services, especially in service to service interaction. So this authentication involves in verifying the network services that are requesting to access the information that is basically served by another service. As we said, it is basically for service to service. Like for example, you are traveling and you are using a travel web service, and that is basically used for connecting with the credit card gateway. So you are accessing your account online in some other country. So that is where a travel web service and a credit card gateway will come into picture, and it will try to identify you and the network whether it is authenticated or no. So this gateway will also help in verifying the credit card on the behalf of the user. So this is about authentication. Now let us see about authorization. Authorization is basically a process which happens after the authentication. So it is a process of determining what sort of privileges the user or the system is entitled to. The different type of privileges could be read, write, modify. So these are some of the access rights. So once the identity is established, the user can be authorized. So in case of or in the context of digital services, authorization usually follows the authentication step and is used to determine whether the user or service has the necessary privileges to perform certain operations. If you are performing a read operation, the system will check whether you are actually having those rights. If you are performing any modification, the system will check whether you are performing any specific modification. Do you have those rights or no? So this is a process of enforcing the policies. So this is a diagram which represents or trying to show you what is authentication and what is authorization. Like for example, the lady in the diagram is entering a login, a username and a password. So she is trying to tell who she is to the system. So the system will verify and it will allow her based on the login process. After the authentication process, we have the authorization. So that the person who is available in the slide, you can see the system will check what sort of permissions that particular person has. The next diagram will discuss more about this. Like here you can see there is an entity on the above side. The entity has entered the username and the password, and the authentication process happens, and the username and the password is checked against the database, and if it is right, the access is allowed to access the application, and if the authentication process fails, the user is not allowed to access the process. So the next process is about authorization. Here the entity has already logged in and the authentication has been done. So authorization starts only after the authentication has been done. Now you can see we have two types of users there. You have an admin and you have an entity. So now admin has major rights and the other user is the editor. So the editor is trying to create users and all will not be allowed because he has rights only to modify the applications. Editor privileges are basically to modify some specific application for which he is assigned rights. He does not have any rights to create the users or any modifications for the other application. So this was it about authentication and authorization. Now let us see about auditing. This is also one of the important factors for identification and access management. So auditing is basically in the context of IAM. It will entail the process of reviewing and examination. So this review and examination is basically for the authentication and authorization records, which when what has happened, right? So those activities need to be monitored. So that will help in determining the adequacy of IAM controls to verify the compliance with established security policies and procedures to see whether the compliance of the system is working appropriately or no. For example, you have separation of duties, so there should be no duty overlap. It is also helpful in detecting the breaches in security services, example, privilege escalation, and it will help to recommend any changes that are identified or indicated for countermeasures. So if there are any issues identified during the auditing processes, it needs to be rectified with respect to the policies that are made. So there are certain countermeasures that need to be managed. Now there are certain cloud cases where IAM is basically used as a support. Like for example, you have an organization which is having a SaaS service, right? So the employees and on-site contractors are trying to access this SaaS service and they are trying to access it using the identity federation. So for example, you have a sales and different type of support staff members. They are trying to access the salesforce.com with the corporate identities and credentials. So in such case, you would need the IAM support for cloud environment. This is another where an IT administrators are accessing the CSP management console and they are doing so to provision the resources and accesses to the users who are trying to use the corporate identity. Like for example, IT administrators of Nuco.com, they are trying to provision the virtual machines, which is also called as VMs, in the Amazon EC2 service, and which is basically configured with different identities with entitlements and credentials for operating the VMs. The operations which can be performed on the VMs is start, stop, suspend or delete the VMs. So this is another case where a IAM service can be used in the cloud. Now let us see another one where platform as a service is being used. So here the developers are trying to create accounts for partners users in a platform as a service environment or a platform. So for example, the developers of Nuco.com, again we are using the same developers, Nuco.com provisioning accounts in Force.com for specific company partnerco.com, and the employees are contracted to perform business processes task for specifically Nuco.com. So this is again another case of IAM being used in cloud environment. Then we have again some users are end users who are trying to access the storage service S3 in Amazon environment and they are trying to share the files and objects with the users within the environment and also outside the domain using the access management policy features. So this is again another environment where IAM support is needed. Again another thing where an application is residing in a cloud service, like for example you have Amazon EC2, we are trying to access the storage from another cloud service, that is example Moso. So in this case also you do need an IAM support. Now let us see some of the challenges of IAM, right? So managing various types of users, that is termed as diverse user population. Like for example, you have employees, contractors, partners, etc. So these are diverse type of users. They are trying to access the internal and externally hosted services. So internally and externally hosted services are trying to access. So managing these various types of user is a major challenge in IIM. Then also IT is constantly challenged to rapidly provision appropriate accesses to different types of users. So like for example, whose roles and responsibilities often change for business reasons. So the roles keep changing. So you have to rapidly provision the appropriate accesses to the users, right? Specifically in a dynamic environment. So here turnover of users also within the organizations change and they vary with industry and function. So IIM becomes a challenge in such environment also. Like for example, you have seasonal staffing fluctuations in the finance department or finance environment, for example, which can also arise for changes in the business. Whenever there are changes in the business, the finance department keeps changing. So such as you have mergers with the different organizations and acquisitions, you have new product and service releases, business process outsourcing and changing responsibility. So these are some of the changes in the business environment, specifically in the finance department. And also organizations can contain disparate directories, different directories it means, creating complex web of users, identities, access rights and procedures. So these are different organizations can have separate directories, specifically for creating web of users, creating the identities, access rights and procedures. So this has led to the inefficiencies in users and access management processes. Reason being because this will help in, or rather it will affect in exposing these organizations to significantly show their issues in security, regulatory compliance and reputation risks. So how do we overcome these challenges, right? How do we address these IIM challenges? So technological solutions are basically built in to enable centralized and automated user access management. But these are also going to have certain issues because they are going to be centralized. So again, this has led to inefficiency in the user and access management processes while exposing these organizations to significantly secure regulatory compliance and reputation risk. So these inefficiencies will lead to issues in security, regulatory compliance and reputation risk. Organizations should also approach their IIM strategy and architecture with both business and IT drivers that address the core inefficiency issues while preserving the control efficacy related to access control. So what they are trying to say, they have to use the IIM strategy and architecture basically with both the business and the IT drivers, which will address the core inefficiencies issues that are related to preserving the control efficacy, and specifically that is related to access control. So this organization, like such organizations, can have a higher likelihood of success and return on investment. These are certain assignments for today's topic related to IIM auditing and authorization, and related to the authentication process, related to the auditing process, and related to the challenges. If you have any query, you can contact me at the specified email ID, and you can also WhatsApp. Thank you. We are done for today.